Well, first question, Joe on the left side, second row.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. LeBron, we're just learning about your hand injury, and we can obviously see the brace. Can you take us through what happened and if it caused you any problems over the final 3 games?
What happened? Self-inflicted. Post-game after game 1. Very emotional. For a lot of different reasons, understanding how important a game 1 is on the road for our ball club. What would that done for us? The way we played, the calls that was made throughout the course of that game. I had emotions on, the game was taken away from us. I had emotions of you just don't get an opportunity like this on the road versus Golden State to be able to get a game 1. And, I let the emotions get the best of me and pretty much played the last 3 games with a broken hand. So that's what it is.
And then I recognize the finals just ended, but I know you're ready for these questions. Do you feel like you've played your last game for the Cavs?
I have no idea at this point. The one thing that I've always done is consider, obviously my family, understanding, especially where my boys are at this point in their age. They were a lot younger. The last time I made a decision like this 4 years ago, I got a teenage boy, a preteen, and a little girl right now that wasn't around as well. So, sitting down and considering everything, but, my family is a huge part of whatever I've decided to do in my career, and they will continue to be that. So I don't have an answer for you right now as far as that.
Tim, all the way in the back.
LeBron, 2 questions. One, all the way in the back. 2 questions. One, how do you want this season to be remembered, given, guys in their 15th year don't do this at all? How do you want this year to be remembered?
For me personally?
Yes.
I have no idea. That's for you guys to kind of figure out how you want to characterize my 15th season. It's definitely been a whirlwind. It's been ups and downs. It's been good. It's been bad. For me, I just try to be consistent throughout the course of the season, be the leader I know I can be for this ball club, for this franchise every night, no matter what was going on from the outside or the inside, and be reliable every single day, showing up to work every single day, putting in the work, and grinding every single day. So, I have no idea how the story will be talked about in my season, but that's not. I know I punch the clock in every single day, and that's for me. And I understand that, and I'm okay with that.
And to kind of follow up on one of Joe's questions, you've gone through this dance that's coming this summer. You've gone through this a few times. Do you anticipate this just because of, like you said, the family and your kids going into high school and your age and all those things? Do you anticipate this summer being the toughest as far as deciding what the right path for you is?
No, I felt like 10 was the toughest.
Rachel up front.
Rachel Nichols, ESPN. LeBron, how would you characterize these playoffs for you?
For me personally?
And the team.
And the team? I wondered if we could hit a switch some way, somehow, just because of the course of the regular season. It was just like, I don't know. You guys asked me a lot. Our beat writers, kind of asked us throughout the whole, season, and then we made the trades. And right before the playoffs, a couple weeks before the playoffs, do you feel like your team is ready for the postseason? I didn't know. It was just the unknown. Our season was kind of the unknown, and I wondered if we can hit a switch in the postseason. I figured if I stayed laser sharp, if I came in with the right mentality, if I came in with the right mindset, that I could help fast track this, throughout a lot of the games in the postseason, because of my experience and because some of the other guys that experienced a lot of games, and I was able to do that. We was able to do that, and it's I don't know. I think it's never a success. It's never a success in the postseason when you lose. Not for me. I have no idea. But for me personally, like I said, being reliable to my teammates, being able to play the game at a higher level with as many games and as many miles that I have on my body, and put together a run like I had in the postseason. It's something that I can, kind of remember. The ending is obviously still fresh and still new, and you never want to lose, and especially in this fashion, being a competitor. But it is what it is, and like I said, I punch my clock every day.
I know you have no way to know yet whether your time here is over or not, but I'm wondering what playing with the word Cleveland across your chest has meant to you for this second run.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I came back because I felt like I had some unfinished business, and to be able to be a part of the championship team 2 years ago with the team that we had and in the fashion that we had is something I will always remember. Obviously, I think we all remember that. I mean, it ended the drought for Cleveland. It was 50-plus years. I think we will all remember that in sports history. So, when you have a goal, I think any individual, anybody, male, female, whoever the case may be, when you have a goal and you like seek that goal out and you dream about that dream and you put everything you can to guys like this brace, huh? Guys like this cast, huh? You want me to sit right here for it? I don't even know where I was, Rach. I'm sorry. Next question. I'm sorry.
It's good.
Dave, standing on the left.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. LeBron, in 2010, you basically started or were part of a team starting from scratch. In 2014, same process, and then 4 months ago, and were able to get to the finals. If you had to do that again in your career, basically start a team from scratch, what have you learned from this year that you had a different team in February from what you were playing with in the finals?
Well, it's definitely not the most comfortable thing, to start a team from scratch because the most important is health because you need to build chemistry so fast and camaraderie so fast on the floor. And if you have multiple injuries or you have multiple bodies out, when you're starting fresh, it's too hard, and I think, with this season, that's what you kind of saw. The difference between this season and the difference between my first year in Miami, we didn't have many injuries at all. We were definitely fresh together, but myself and D. Wade and Bosh, UD, Mike Miller had a few injuries, but Chalmers was available, and pretty much our team, we were pretty solid as far as not being injury prone. Obviously, my first year back here, we were headed in the right direction, and then we hit the postseason, and Kev has a separated shoulder with the tie with Olenek, and then Kyrie, goes down in the first or second possession in overtime of game one in the finals. So, I mean, that's just huge. So, being a part of the start fresh mode is something that you definitely don't want to be a part of. It has its pros and it definitely has its cons.
Jason up here.
Athletic. When you tell Rachel you came back as unfinished business, does one championship finish that business?
I mean, that's a trick question at the end of the day, and I'm not falling for that.
It's not a trick.
No, yes, it is. I mean, for me, I still have so much to give to the game, and like I said, when you have a goal and you're able to accomplish that goal, it actually, for me personally, made me even more hungry to continue to try to win championships, and I still want to be in championship mode, and I think I've showed this year why I will still continue to be in championship mode.
And when you came back in 2014 and we did the thing at InfoCision, understanding things can change in 4 years, but you said you don't plan on going anywhere, you can't go through this again. What did you mean by that, and what's this process like, this free agency process of having to make a decision of where? Can you just take us through, shed some light on what that process is like?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to take you throughout the whole process. That's not fun. But at the end of the day, like I said, when I decide what I'm going to do with my future, my family and the folks that have been with me for the last, 20 years pretty much, will have a say-so. And then it ultimately will come down to me. So we'll see what happens.
Howard, standing on the left.
Howard Beck, Bleacher Report. LeBron, when you made the move in 2010, obviously you had certain goals and things in mind that made you pushed you toward that decision. Similar 2014. are the decisions or the thought process, priorities different at age 33, 15 years in than they would have been at those other junctures?
No, I don't think so. To be able to, I made the move in 2010 to be able to, play with talented players, cerebral players, that you could see things that happen before they happen on the floor, and your teammate can do the same. Throughout the course of a season, throughout the course of a game, throughout the course of a playoffs, throughout the course of the finals. So when you feel like when you feel like you're really good at your craft, I think it's always great to be able to be around other great minds as well, and other great ball players in my instance, and other great I think studies of the game itself. So that's never changed. Even when I came here, in 14, I want to try to surround myself and surround this franchise with, great minds and guys that actually think outside the box of the game and not just go out and play it.
Mark, last one in the back left.
Hi, New York Times. LeBron, whatever you decide this summer, how likely is it that down the road you would want to actually own the Cavs and be the guy in charge here?
Well, that top athlete money per year thing came out last week, and I was 6. So I'm in no way, shape, and form putting myself in a position right now to own a team. I think Floyd was one at like 252. Obviously I don't have a boxing hand. So boxing won't be the sport I'll be going to. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, Mark, I think for me, staying around the game, being around the game, will be something I'll probably do for the rest of my life. Either, while I'm playing for this, this later stage of my career, advising, people in the NBA, or whatever the case may be. But I got 2 boys that play the game as well, so. I don't know. I can't predict the future on ownership and things of that nature, but I have a lot of knowledge of the game. I understand talent. I know talent. But I know the right questions to ask certain guys and see if they're smart enough to actually think the game as well. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you, LeBron.
Appreciate it.
Iguodala, Draymond, and Clay should be up next together.